Hello, it's Dumplet here. Welcome to part 21 of 25 of the College Entrance Test Review. Credits to the Review Masters for providing me with these items. To continue, item 81, if 2 less than or equal to a less than or equal to 4 and 3 less than or equal to b less than or equal to 6, what is the greatest value of a squared minus b squared? Now, to get the greatest value or the maximum possible value of this, our instincts tell us that, well, this must be big, so a squared must be big, and then we want to subtract b squared. So let's try to make b squared as small as possible. So our instincts will tell us we want to make a squared big, so we want a to be as big as possible. And then since we want to minimize it, so we want to maximize this, so we want to subtract the smallest possible amount. So we're just going to make b very, very small as possible. So the minimum value of a squared minus b squared would indeed be when a is equal to 4 and b equals 3. So we're just going to write 4 squared minus 3 squared. And all you have to do is just get this. 4 squared gives 16, 3 squared gives 9, so 16 minus 9, that indeed gives us 7, and 7 here is choice D. So our mathematical instincts would indeed tell us the way to do this item. Item 82. The expression, so we have a rational expression here, represents a real number for all real values of x except, so this would be a real number for all real values of x except, well, obviously the values of x that will make this value undefined. And since we have a fraction over here, the only restriction we have here is that the denominator shouldn't be 0. So we have to find the values of x. So since it's already factored for us, so none of these factors can equal 0. So let's focus on the blue one first. X squared plus 9 equals 0. So let's see what are the values of x. Now, x squared, if you solve for x squared equals negative 9. So x would equal, well, square root of negative 9. That's going to be 3i. And negative 3i. So, well, x is not real. So we don't really need to consider this case because, well, in the first place, we can already tell that x squared plus 9, well, x squared over here, it's greater than or equal to 0 if x is real, since we're just focusing on real values of x. So x squared plus 9 is always positive anyway, so you can use those type of tricks to conclude that, okay, doesn't really matter. So for the blue case, we won't really have any exceptions or restrictions for x. Now, to focus on the green, x minus 5, that's a very simple one. So x minus 5 equals 0. So solving for x, we can easily get that x would equal 5. So this will make the denominator equal to 0. So we must exclude, x equals 5. So we're done taking each factor. So each factor in the denominator. So only x equals 5 is the restriction. So that corresponds to choice C. So this expression would indeed be a real number for all real values of x except 5. So 5 is the only restriction that we have. Item 83. If 6 cubed times 5 to the 5th equals 25 times 30k, then what is the value of k? Now, there's a 25 here, which is interesting. So let's try to remove that 25. Now, there's a 5 to the 5th here, so there's obviously a 25 there. Now, let's rewrite the equation as follows. So 6 cubed times. Now, 5 to the 5th, we can use laws of exponents. I can split it into 5 cubed and then 5 squared. Because 3, 2, the exponents here, they add up to 5. So we can split those two. That's a property of exponents. Now, this would equal to 25 times 30k. Now, this is nice because, well, the reason why I put a 5 squared here is for these two to cancel. So that's nice. I can cancel these two. Now, we can apply the property. They have the same exponent of 3, so we can just multiply whatever it's in the base. So we will have 6 times 5, and that gives us 30. So 30 raised to 3. And that's equal to 30 raised to k. So since they have the same base of 30, we can equate these two. So we would get that k would equal 3. So it should be choice A. So just laws of exponents for this item. Lastly, for 84, simplify. We have 4th root of 27x squared times 9x to the 4th. Now we can just do the simple one. We can just simply substitute since we have variable given and variable answer. We can try to substitute values for x. Now let's just take x equals 1 to make everything simple. Now if x equals 1, the four choices become, well, this becomes 3 square root of 3, 3x becomes 3, square root of 3x becomes square root of 3. Now fourth root of 3x becomes fourth root of 3. Okay, so all four choices are different, so that's nice. Now substitute 1 in this given, we're going to get fourth root of 27x squared is just 27, and then square root of 9x to the 4th is just square root of 9. So we can, well, it's simpler to deal with. Now square root of 9, we all know that's equal to 3, so we can remove that. So it's going to be square root of fourth root of 27 times 3. Now 27 times 3, that's equal to 81. So we're just going to write fourth root of 81 here. Now 81, as we all know, 81 is well known to be 3 raised to 4. So the fourth root of 81, well, 81 is a perfect fourth power. So the fourth root of 81, it's going to be simply 3. So since choice B is the only 3 here, the answer to this item should equal choice B, which is 3x. And you can verify it to be true. Hopefully you guys learned something new from this video, and I'll see you in part 22. Bye-bye!